If you had a time machine, to which year in the past would you travel for one day? Oh man, sure, it's July 18th, 2010, when Bitcoin's lowest price was 0.05 cents. Who's up for the journey? May 23rd, 2010, somewhere in Florida, at Papa John's. I would approach Laszlo Hanyeks with an offer he couldn't refuse. Hello, Laszlo. How about buying not just a couple of pizzas, but a whole truckload of pizzas, and the truck itself as a gift? All for your modest 10,000 bitcoins. Laszlo, beaming with joy, agrees, little suspecting that in years to come, his bitcoins would be worth about $450 million. He drives off into the sunset in his brand new truck, proud of the deal of the century, devouring pizza straight from the box. And I, a decade later, fly off to my island on my private business jet. Did Laszlo actually hold though? You have to consider the effect your investment in Bitcoin would have. You risk not having key investors come in that legitimized it like Max Kaiser. This guy has time traveled and regretted it. That one goddamn butterfly ruined everything. Damn you, Ashton Kutcher. I asked a class of students this question once. The first student answered that he'd like to go and witness his own birth. I thought that was a pretty cool answer. Then the next student said he'd also like to go back to see the first student's birth. All the subsequent students said the same. So some poor woman in like 2006 had to have 24 school kids gawking at her in the delivery room while trying to do the already monumentally difficult task of giving birth. Sorry about that, ma'am. Had this teacher who was a real ass, but us students started messing with him in retaliation. One of my friends threw a fart bomb before class, then another mid-class. The whole class was derailed. He illegally started searching backpacks. Eventually, he gave everyone a paper and asked us to write down who did it. His favorite student in the class said Bob did it. Everyone wrote Bob, there was no Bob. He got in trouble for searching our bags. Surprised no one said they wanted to see the first student's conception. I'd meet my teenage self and tell him some things. So many things. Spend more time with her than your friends, you'll miss her when she's gone. Don't sell your truck, fix it. Taking a year off from school is dumb, go to college. You're the only one who remembers that embarrassing thing, don't let it keep you up at night. I remember. I tried to remember something embarrassing that happened to someone else, and all I could come up with was when a girl in middle school was throwing up in the trash can and in between heaves she farted. I don't remember her name or what she looks like or even what grade it was. And the 3 friends from that time period I still talk to don't remember it at all. OL Trash Can Tammy. I remember her. Her fart lives on in infamy. I can't go back beyond 2001, since my children were all born by that time and I'd be terrified that something I did might endanger them being born. Meaning a different one of the millions of sperm fertilizing the egg, and in this way I get a different kid. Maybe pick a day around 15 years ago. A day right before a huge lottery that doesn't have a winner. Buy the ticket and then mail it to myself with a pretty detailed set of instructions on buying certain stocks, bitcoins, and how to fix some current issues. Amongst that would be a plan to keep a certain former president too busy to bother running for office. No murder or anything, just some gentle nudges. If I could, I'd go back with an almanac. Once I set up the proper security, I'd imagine knowing the details of everything from the weather to the Super Bowl would be worth $1 trillion or $2 trillion to the right people. I'm nutty enough that I'd believe it if I got a letter like that in my own handwriting. There is a movie that deals with this. Bill Nighy and Domhnall Gleeson. He time travels to before his son is born and comes back to a different son. It's a really cool movie that breaks my heart. Please like and subscribe for more daily content.